What is up YouTube? It is Matty and I've got an interesting video for you today, something a little bit different. It's gonna, as you saw by the title, it's called Versatility within Clan Wars or something along that effect. So yeah, it was a video I've wanted to do for a little while now, and I've got a good war to show it on. I can demonstrate a couple of my raids and what I mean by it. Couple of 3 stars, so that'll be good. But yeah, the main focus is to discuss versatility, and it starts with having your troops at the right level. Now I'm mainly talking about Town Hall 9, but it does apply to Town Hall 10 as well, and potentially Town Hall 8, but really not so much 9 plus. This video is going to be sort of focused on. Now, when you look at, say, me, my troop levels, you can see I've got max Town Hall 9 troops, yeah? What that means is I'm open to a lot of different strategies. I can, particularly with hogs and loons and golems and witches, jump, those main strategies, main and hounds, troops maxed, means I can use holo, GoLow, GoWiWi, go GWiWi with giants, GoLoWiWi with loons, you know, LaLoon, in all its variants with quad, penta, or shattered, whichever, you know. I've got a lot of options open. And because my heroes are quite high as well, that also does help with, and what I'm trying to explain is that the fact that I've got these troop levels, and I've prioritized them, and I got them up high quickly, it meant that when it comes to Clan Wars, I can be quite versatile. I can do lots of different strategies, and that is the key to, in my opinion, success. Because if you're good at hogging, that's fine. Or if you're good at LaLoon, that's fine. But if you can use different strategies on different bases, and apply yourself to that, and just basically look at a base, and then shout out to Van on the donates, by the way. If you can look at a base and think where its weakness is this a base that's easily hoggable? Is it a base that's easily LaLoonable, or whichever? And then you make an informed decision. Now, what I wanted to do is highlight how I came to the decision of which bases to attack, with what strategy. And that really comes down to experience, scouting, having a good look. Now, I'll explain what I mean. So this is a base that I've attacked, yeah? It's number 8. It's it was the highest Town Hall 9. It's a really silly base design, in my opinion, because the air defense. Now, if you look at it, it's the expos are up. So whenever I look for let's choose a strategy, LaLoon, for example, things that are going to affect that. Air defense, how easy can I get to them and destroy one of them or two of them? How easy can I get to the queen? Are the expos pointing up? How easy is the clan castle to lure? How spread are the defenses? That sort of thing. When it comes to hogs, it's where are the giant bomb spots? How can I kill the queen? How can I get the CC pull? How can I path the hogs? And that sort of thing. So firstly, that's starting to get annoying. This base was, what I noticed is all 4 air defences are in the core, which means once they all go, the rest of the base can be looned, if you catch my drift. But there were potential double giant bomb spots in the core. There were potential double giant. There could have been quite a few places where they were. So I was kind of nervous about hogs. LaLoon, it would have been, I'd have had to sort of go shattered and all the way into the core to get to the air defences. So I wasn't really liking either of the strategies for this. I mean, you can do it with both probably, but it's just a little bit more awkward. Whereas this was my plan. I looked at this base and thought, well, what would most people do in sort of non-hardcore war clans? I mean, GoWiWi and GoWiWi are the 2 obvious ones, yeah. Or that's what it always has been until LaLoon and people started realising how powerful hogs actually were. So what I like to do sometimes is, when you've got all 4 air defences in the core, consider a GoLoWiWi. Now, all it is, it's a GoWiWi army with back-end loons or front-end loons or whichever. Now, my plan, sort of, I thought, right, okay, if I can go GoWiWi the core and take out all the defences and the air defences in there, then take some loons to just finish off the rest of the defences outside, so they stop killing my troops, then I could be on for quite an easy 3-star. So in this case, that's what I did. Now, my point is, and I'm going to keep repeating, look at a base and find its weakness, then build your army to that effect. So if we have a look at, take this base as the example, this army, you can see I used 3 golems and 4 witches, so that's the standard sort of GoWiWi ish army. 14 wizards, because I wanted to break my golems in, so I took 8 wall breakers, 3 for the Legos and 2 for the skulls. So there were 2 compartments which had Legos, I think, and 1 which had skulls. So there's my 8, and then I was going to jump into the core, lightning the CC when it came out, and I got my obviously my 4 witches to go in. Now at that point, I took 8 loons as well, so I built the army based on how many golems and witches, which is sometimes quite standard. You can tweak it a little bit. How many wall breakers do I need? And then basically I left it so that I had enough wizards and loons. Just about. I did toy with the idea of more loons, less wizards, but I think 14 was a little bit low. So I didn't want to go any lower. Let's put it that way. So I built my army around that, and let's see how it panned out. I chose the queen side to attack, and the reason for that was because she can pull troops away, it can distract the raid. If she's down quick, it's an easier job. And you can see I'm putting the golems down, breaking them in. I wanted them to split up, which they did, and they all sort of went into the right compartments, which was great. Wizards behind to try and start taking down those defences, and then witches down. King, notice that the king, I dropped the king behind the skeletons, dropped the lightning on the CC, jump spell to get into the core. So it's all a bit quick at the start of the raid. A rage spell's going to go down soon. Now this was a little bit awkward. The queen went the wrong way. I wanted her to go into the core, but she didn't. She ran around, and she ends up getting targeted in a bit, whereas she wouldn't have before. Now you can see what I'm doing. I'm using my rage spells to just push the troops in through the core, and get the job done quickly, basically, so my heroes aren't getting, well, my king's not dying, the witches have got time. And you can see just as the sort of the defences are dying, I'm dropping the loons in. That last air defence went down, so I dropped another couple of loons in where the key defences were, and you can see my plan is to just try and take them down, to ease the troops that are left in the core and keep them alive. Now my queen had to use her ability to keep her alive, and I've got a queen that's basically full health. I've got some cleanup in the core, the wizard tower splat and the golem, and my plans worked perfectly, really, if you think about it. As soon as the sort of the core ADs were down, I was able to drop the loons, and it's just resulted that I've got a lot of cleanup left. I think I had about a minute left on the clock on this raid, and you can still use armies like GoWiWi if you adapt them slightly for a leveled base. So that highlighted my point quite nicely, I think, on this one, and I'll show you the same for the next one. So I'm gonna exit and go into the next video I wanted to show in this one. So number 10. Now let's have a look at this base. So I treat each base as a separate case, as a separate entity. I didn't select these bases myself. I asked Van to, because it was quite funny because I was actually drunk when I did this raid. I was at like a charity ball thing, like, you know, full black tie suit sort of event, but I'd planned it a little bit earlier, so I sort of knew what I was going to do. I just had to not mess it up when I dropped the troops. And today's been hangover day, so I'm glad I feel a bit better now, and I'm actually able to get the video done, which I wanted to do. So when I look at this base, first thing I notice is I've got 2 air defences that are A, quite accessible, and B, quite close together, and obviously I'm talking about the 2 over here between with the elixir storage in the middle. Now the other thing I notice is I've got one of the X-rays is up, but one is down, which is a nice little point. I'm considering hold on a second. At this point, sorry about that. At this point, yeah, I was thinking, okay, this could be an air attack sort of base. If I can get those air defense, this could be a LaLoon. So with the queen, I looked at the queen's range and noticed if I get to those air defenses with the king, I'm going to highlight the queen, and I can use a jump spell to let me into the air defense compartment, and potentially the wizard tower compartment, the core, and the mortar if I place the jump spell nicely. That was the plan, okay? So what I then did is I thought, okay, I'm going to need 2 golems. So, and I'll need a few wizards to funnel. So, and the other thing was this was a Tesla, because someone already tried the space, so it's a cleanup right in this sort of space just between these walls. So what my plan was, if I drop a single loon to trigger the Tesla, so that my golems are going to go for them when I drop them, then drop a golem sort of towards the gold mine over here and the gold mine over here to target, so that these arch towers start shooting them, which is what I wanted, so that they're not so they're distracted and my wizards can clear the buildings. Same on this side, that my golems are going to walk towards the Teslas. I can clear the buildings for my wizards, drop my heroes in, drop the jump spell, drop the lightning spell on the CC and kill them. So what I'm trying to say is this raid was a clear choice for a shattered LaLoon. So because the 2 air defences I was able to take down, the Queen, the CC, so I had to sacrifice 2 spells, a jump and a lightning. Had to sacrifice 2 golems, which is 60 housing space, and my heroes. But that means then if I did 3 hounds and say I think it was 15 loons, that's a pretty good amount of troops to be able to finish the rest of the base. So what I've done there is noticed a weakness in this base design. Now these bases were really perfect for my example, because I'm trying to highlight that if you find a weakness within a base, or you find a way, you just got to think of a way that you can create a plan to attack it. So if I was trying to hog this base, I'd be thinking where are the giant bomb spots and that sort of thing. But by all means, watch my specialist series on hogs and on LaLoon, and my war recaps to give you more of an idea of how people are attacking different bases. But this video is meant to highlight that look out for these weaknesses, come up with a plan and deliver it. So let's watch my plan in action on this one, and then we'll call it a day on the video. So I dropped a single loom that was maybe wasteful, but I wanted to just make sure I got that Tesla to pop. So there it is, look. Managed to take down an air bomb as well, which is great. Drop the golem sort of with a bit of range, then drop the wizards to the edges, so that they were going to start taking down those buildings. That was the plan. So that the Queen and the King went the right way. That was the idea. I dropped the King down last. I didn't want to get him targeted. Dropped the lightning spell on the CC and the jump spell in place as well. So now the King's going to run over to the Queen. He's getting shot quite a lot. King ability to slap her, and then the Queen's gone into the perfect spot here. She's about to take down that elixir storage, and she's about to take down the air defense as well. So plan has worked perfectly so far. So what I do, I'm going to pause here, sorry about it, but I need to highlight my point. Can you see the swing of you can see the air defense. I knew that there was only going to be 2 air defenses left, but you see where I dropped my hound. The reason I dropped it there is to swoop any traps that are sort of in that compartment with the wizard tower and the 2 arch towers over here. So firstly to trap set, but also to distract the arch towers while the loons close in. So although I'm coming in at a weird angle, and now what I'm going to do is start moving clockwise around the base. You can do it clockwise or anti-clockwise. So my second hound drop's going to probably be by this camp. My third hound drop's probably going to be by this archer tower down here, and I'm going to start dropping loons in between as well. So you can see here come those loons. Second hound's coming in by that camp, as I said. And I'm starting to move the loons around now. The arch tower on the down towards 7 o'clock is distracted. Another hound, some more loons in. The rage spell's down, and you can see with all the hounds that the air defense is about to go down. So when the hound's on it, last 3 loons right on the back end of that to get that arch tower, and I've got my the other loons moving through. The rage spells on it, and I've basically swooped around the entire base. Unfortunately, a bomb did get me. All 3 hounds are about to go. Oh no, this was awesome. It was almost like I planned it. So I got 1 hound that hasn't popped yet, and I'm thinking, come on, something, get that hound. I really want it. Luckily, in a second, now neither of those traps hit the hound, but watch what happens here. The arch tower's targeted the hound. This is almost like I planned it to perfection. Watch, hound pops, loons are on top. Boom, I've got all my pups. So I've got 3 hounds to pop, all the pups around, and that is perfect, really. So I absolutely decimated this base, and it's because I planned it right, I deployed it right. Even though I was a little bit drunk when I did it, I didn't make any mistakes, and the raid just worked perfectly. So this is my point of this whole video: was be versatile, practice all the different strategies when you get a chance to. So that when it comes to a base that's got an obvious attack strategy, that you're not a noob at it. You can deliver it. And yeah, finding weaknesses, and every base has a weakness. There is not an un-3-starable base at Town Hall 9. Now, there's ones that are really tough, and there's a new breed of bases coming out at the high-end war clans, which I've started noticing, which are going to make our jobs tougher. But you can 3-star every base, Town Hall 9 versus Town Hall 9. You've just got to find the right way. So whether that be Hogs, whether that be LaLoon, whether it be a GoWiWi variant even, just analyse each base, analyse the scenario, build your army custom to that base, and you should be onto a winner. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got to understand what I'm trying to portray and what I wanted to explain, because I've been having some very successful wars lately, personally, in my own raids, because I've been doing that, and that is choosing the army that's right for the base I'm taking down. As always, let me know your thoughts, and yeah, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Let your friends know, point them in my direction, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.